Reorigin has been really, really amazing, and I feel like it's just opened up a whole new world for healing for me. It's a joyful way of healing. My name is Autumn Collins. The main conditions that I have suffered from kind of started off with like Raynaud's disease and autoimmune conditions, and then ended up that we found out things like Lyme disease and co-infections and Epstein-Barr virus and a lot of mold toxicity, and all of chemical sensitivities were involved and causing a lot of symptoms. So before I ended up getting sick, I was a very active child. I was into a lot of sports. I loved playing soccer and being extremely social with lots of friends, doing volunteer work and being really active in our church. And when I started getting sick, we noticed that at sports, I was starting to faint a lot, couldn't tolerate the heat, and we just didn't really know what was going on. I woke up one day in the middle of the summer and my toes had been frostbit, and we realized there were some circulatory issues going on. And that kind of started off the whole journey of seeing doctor after doctor and specialist after specialist, and it just kept continuing to get worse to the point where I was just bedridden, couldn't really get up and do anything. Lots of fatigue, which then went into joint pain and swelling. I started passing out 2 to 3 times a week, what they diagnosed at the time with POTS. And then we realized I was dislocating joints and stuff a lot. So that ended up, saying, oh, you have Ehlers-Danlos and hypermobility syndrome. And so then that really restricted me from doing a lot of things that I loved activity-wise. And so not only was things like sports and stuff taken away, but then it just kind of, was the only thing you're allowed to do is walk. Like if you're going to be up out of bed, you're only allowed to walk. And that caused a lot of fear about even wanting to do anything sort of fun, just because you did have so much fear. So when that fear kind of started of being told over and over, if you do this, you're going to crash, you're going to do this, you're going to, everything is going to happen bad to you, then that just kept playing over and over in my mind and really started to kind of isolate me from things that I really loved doing. And just in general, having to go to so many types of physical therapy and pain management, that really just took up a whole lot of my life, to the point where, even keeping up with school and family life was extremely difficult. So I found Ben's video on the Tick Boot Camp on Instagram, I think is what it was. It was some Lyme disease group on Instagram. And I was just scrolling through looking for like different doctors. I had been in bed for days. I was just really, really fatigued. And I was really mentally at a point where I was like, I have to do something to get me out of this. I don't know if I need to find a one-on-one coach, because I did feel like, yes, I'm really tired, but I'm like, I have to find a way to mentally push through this. And I'm not really sure how to do that without causing possible significant damage to my body. And so I was really looking for that, and found Ben's video and asked my husband, like, hey, this is like, a little bit of money. Are you okay with that? And he was like, I don't care what you do, but please, anything that you think will help, like, just try it if you're willing to put the work in. And I won't say I went too fast, but I was very eager. Like, I think I went through, the first whole week in a day, just because I was like, I need this knowledge, and then I can slow it down and like work on the exercises. And the program is so nice that when you are having the really bad days, all the videos are in the incremental, they're not super long, so you can kind of take them here and there and really go at your own pace. What I love about the Reorigin program is that, there's the science to back it up of why this works. And so that is what made me really eager to go ahead and dive in with Reorigin. I loved that he really explained, how it's going to work and why it's going to work, and roughly how long you're going to need, like being super honest about that. I really appreciated all of that. And I think the brain exercises are really easy to follow versus having to do like bodily exercises for like the trauma release healing and things like that. It's a little bit easier. Like if I can't get out of bed for the day, I can still do long form and short form, as I go. So as soon as I got through the program, I was like, I love this, but I feel like I need more information, and I need to dive a little deeper. And I really felt like a momentum group would be good for that. You can ask my husband, like, I'll be having the most horrible day and the momentum group comes on, and like when I'm done, it's just like such an elevated feeling. Like you definitely get the dose chemicals, and as they say in the program, with your brain being a mirror, like you see everyone else healing and succeeding, and you get off and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this, like we can do this. So the momentum groups, I think definitely, I've talked to some of the people, from the group privately, like in the chat, and getting to know those people. I think it's been a really good way of building community and realizing you're not in it alone. So I think I started Reorigin about 3.5, 4 months ago, and I am already just so drastically changed. So, lights and noise sensitivity doesn't bother me. I even feel like heat and cold doesn't bother me near as much. I have been able to start cold plunging and doing infrared sauna again, which I wasn't able to tolerate that before. I feel like I can just rest. Like the nervous system exercises have been so good where I've just been able to just stay calm just on a regular basis, because it would be I would just lay in bed at night and like my mind would just keep spinning. And I feel like we've just like put a pause on that with the program and just been able to calm. Sleep has improved. I'm getting over 8 hours of sleep where I was maybe getting 6 at the most before. And even that was like extremely interrupted throughout the night. I've been able to go grocery shopping by myself. I've been going on more trips. I've been going to doctor's appointments and physical therapy during the week by myself. And really, even just some of the physical symptoms, it's helped a lot too. I've had a lot less nausea, much less headaches, just because my nervous system is so much more calm. I feel like I've learned a lot just how to manage the busyness of the chronic illness life, because I still do have, a lot of doctors and specialists and physical therapy each week that I have to do. And that would get extremely, nerve-wracking and anxious. And is my body going to be able to handle it? And I've been able to just be like, hey, yep, your body's equipped. You're fine. You're going to be able to do this. So that has been, all of that combined has been really good. And I feel like Reorigin's been good about just showing you how to kind of like lay out your lifestyle and stuff too, and just manage all of the symptoms in your mind around all of that. A couple of my friends who do deal with chronic illness, they're like, it's like every 4 weeks, the same symptoms keep happening. And I'm like, okay, so we're in a little bit of a loop and we need to like break that. And this program specifically will legitimately help with that. And they have exercises to specifically break those loops. And then just kind of the testimonials of people around me too. I'm like, you can ask my husband. He says I'm a completely different person since, joining Reorigin. And he just says that I'm so much, happier, and he feels like I'm so just a lot less stressed. And, I just encourage them that, especially when they are feeling so alone, that there is, a community of where they can go and have some place to talk instead of on a Facebook group where there is a lot maybe of negativity around the physical symptoms. And that is one thing I love about the Reorigin community app is like, I want to say you're not allowed to be negative, but maybe that's the unspoken rule is like, you're not going to bring negativity in here. So we share our wins and we post things that are going to bring joy to other people, and because life's too short to dwell on anything else. If you are just starting out with Reorigin, number one, expect that you're probably going to have like that initial like honeymoon period, and you're going to be so hopeful and everything's going to go great. And you may have a few little days where you feel like you're backsliding, but watch out for how long it takes you to recover. Because one thing I have noticed is like when I did have a bad day, I would be crashing for 4 to 5, 6 days. And after Reorigin, and I've been able to mentally and physically kind of turn my stressors off, calm my nervous system down, that the next day I go to sleep and I wake up and it's like my body's like reset back. So keep going even when those days can be difficult, and to definitely join a momentum group, because even if you feel like you do have a good support group, there's always going to be people who bring insights of how you can just maybe go a little bit deeper into your healing journey.